Welcome to day 36 of the Sacred Pause. Thank you to those of you who joined us on Zoom last night for our first ever live shamanic journey, where we got to ride our jaguars, fly wingtip to wingtip with our condor spirit, and where we received a message from our ancestors. It truly is an honor to walk and to fly among you beautiful people. I'd like to start today with a poem that I wrote this morning called Eagle Eyes. Oh, to see from the eyes of an eagle, looking down on the chaos below, soaring high over rivers and mountains. Spirit bird, how your wisdom doth grow. For the King of the skies hath perspective, where small details and madness dissolve. When you're wingtip to wingtip with spirit, all your problems are already solved. Thank you. Now, today, I also read an incredible statistic. I do try not to watch the news or read it, but I read that the third leading cause of death in Europe and North America after heart disease and cancer is medication and prescription drugs, with over half of these people losing their lives despite taking the drugs as prescribed by the medical practitioner. Now, we live in a culture with a major focus on pharmaceuticals and an obsession with curing only at the level of symptoms. Looking at the situation from serpent with my reptilian brain, this is a worrying statistic, but not altogether surprising based on my personal experiences in the 4 countries that I've lived: England, Australia, Switzerland and France, where prescription drugs are very easily attainable, but perhaps not always administered with a full explanation to the patient of their potential implications. I'm not trying to have a go at doctors and nurses here. They are merely part of a system. So taking a step back and looking from the eagle perspective, shamans immediately identify an issue, firstly with anything that attacks our immune system. Secondly, by sending antibiotics into our stomach to kill the probiotics is very dangerous. And thirdly, with the medium-term vision of curing. Through a shaman's eye, there's a major difference between curing and healing. Curing is what we usually do in Western hospitals, where they address the patient's symptoms. We're in pain, so they give us drugs to take the pain away. We cut our finger, so they place a band-aid on the injury. But at a more serious level, if we have a tumour, they'll use radiotherapy or chemotherapy perhaps to burn it out. Now, there's absolutely a place for curing patients in this world, but I think we need to look at the whole picture before doing so and understand that this is very much a material serpent level of solving a problem. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it delays the inevitable. Sometimes it does more damage than doing nothing at all. And sometimes it just doesn't work. On a physical level, the injury is covered up or removed, or the pain is masked, or the tumour is taken away. However, the root of the problem is still not solved, so there is every chance the same problem may return. You can keep trying to repair the same puncture on your bike, but eventually the inner tube of the tyre will fall apart and become unusable. Now, healing goes much deeper because it reaches a more complete level, and it can work on the physical, on the energetic, and on the spiritual planes. Rather than going straight to the puncture, look at the bigger picture. You might find the bike shed is right next to a thorn bush. Or perhaps there has been a sharp nail that's been stuck in the outer tyre ever since Dad left the house many moons ago. Before masking a patient's emotional or physical pain, or attacking the tumour and the immune system with something potentially even more toxic, it's important to understand the root of the problem. You see, shamans look beyond the symptoms. We put on our eagle eyes, as the poem mentioned. We listen with our hearts, and we track back beyond the arrival of the puncture or the tumour, so we can find the original trigger to the physical dis-ease, that's dis-ease, which then led to the disease, using ancient healing technologies like illuminations. We do not promise miracles in this realm. Never make a promise. But we do work hand in hand with spirit, and we are trained to see the imprints of disease in the energy field, meaning miracles are far more likely to happen here than at the physical level. If we can trace where the original trauma which triggered the deep depression, then the symptom disappears almost instantly. And critically, it never returns, because we've hit the root of the problem and it's been fully dealt with. You see, healing transforms people's lives, and sometimes, but not always, produces a physical cure. My brothers and sisters, illnesses do not just randomly appear. Spirit is far too intelligent to bring coincidence into this universe. Every illness, disease, or accident happens for a reason. Because we need to slow down. Because we need to listen. Because our body is at dis-ease with something, or because our life is out of balance. It might be abuse from our childhood, from our adulthood. It might be a past life issue, poor nutrition, an ancestral wound, stress at work, not looking after our bodies, a fault in our DNA, a deep-seated anger which has been building inside us for years and needs to express itself. Or often, it's simply a fear of dying. My beautiful people, our medical system needs a shift in consciousness. We need to move from papering over the cracks to healing disease at its very roots. This way, us, the patients, have far more chance of what humans call miracles or spontaneous remissions. It won't solve everything at a physical level. And there are occasions when there'll be a healing, but the patient may die because that is their destiny. However, they will enter the next life in a better place, which might seem hard to see from where we're sitting right now, but believe me, we'll be grateful. But if the ancestral imprint is removed, it will heal many generations of cancer or trauma in the future in this lifetime. We can save our children. Now today, Marcel, the wisdom vacuum, will be doing a magical meditation. But first, please open sacred space and send healing to the countries of India, Pakistan and Bangladesh, and to all the animals, plants, humans and indigenous tribes who live in this beautiful region. Please also send healing to our medical system and to the pharmaceutical companies. Let's send them some light. Also to Michael Robinson, whose soul is currently in transition, and to his family in Spain and England. Please also send healing to our sister Kerry Whittle in the United Kingdom, who is in grief for her husband John. We'll send John some love too. Please continue to send healing to Heine Steppenbach in Germany on behalf of our beautiful sisters Barbara and Sylvia. And please also send healing to Mary Curtis and to Luna Karen, who need our love right now. Finally, please send healing to William Emerson on behalf of our sister Debbie, who is very sick right now. Thank you. The revolution has begun. Let's evolve with honor and majesty. Yours, in peace and love, Peter. Namaste.